Hi YouTube, Navy Dad back again with you. Today we have something very, very special. We've been working on this car for pretty close to a year now, I think. And this is a 1970 Mercury Cougar, which is now a Pro Street Eliminator clone. Pro Touring Eliminator, yeah, not Pro Street, no big fat tires back there. But we lovingly refer it to as the
Fakeinator.
That's right, the Fakeinator. Now, I know all of you people out there in YouTube land are probably going, why did you take a perfectly good Cougar and turn it into something else? Well, here's the deal. This car is numbers matching. It has a 351 Cleveland 4-barrel. Yes, 4-barrel with the venerable 4-barrel heads, which if you're a Ford fan, you know that those are the same heads that were gracing the top of a Boss 302. That's right. This car also came with the FMX transmission and a Ford 9-inch rear end with 350 Positrack gears. It has been modified now. It is running a 4-speed manual transmission, and suspension has been done. Brakes will be done. All kinds of fun.
4-speed top loader out of a Boss 429.
Yeah, a real Boss 429. Anyway, what we're going to show you today, and we refer to this as the Cougar controller. That's right, not that kind of controller. This one doesn't vibrate. What we're going to be doing, and I'm sure you've seen this on YouTube, especially if you're a Cougar fan, and that's people taking a Mazda Miata motor and converting the vacuum headlight system that never worked for crap anyway into an electrical system. Now, you'll see out there on YouTube there's a couple of companies that actually offer this. There's, I believe it's West Coast Cougars, which is a great outfit, especially if you're a Cougar fan. There's parts on this car that have come from there. But that's an expensive kit. And as you know, I have a Miata, or I've had a couple of them. So I had one in a parts box, and as far as wiring it up, well, it's really pretty easy. And what I'm going to do
Can you just admit to having a Miata on YouTube?
Shh. So anyway, shut up. Anyway, what we're doing here is something a little bit different than what you see on YouTube, where you just hook it up, pull the headlight switch, and they open. We're doing two different ways to open this headlight door. One, yes, you turn it on, pull the headlight switch, and the doors are going to open. We're going to have a separate switch in the center stack of the dash, and it's going to be able to just open the door at any time, so that you can, clean the headlights, or maybe you have some angel glow headlights that you want to show off at a car show.
Pimp my ride.
That's right. They're not green though. He wouldn't let me do that. So anyway, what I'm going to do is we're going to show you how to do this, and at the end I'll show you a complete wiring diagram of how we did this, because we also replaced the crappy center stack switch panel. And as you can see, it's broken, and we're not even sure what some of these do. It says accessory. I don't even know what that means. It doesn't turn on anything. It didn't go to anything. Maybe it was an optional thing you could add. We don't even know. So this is the switch panel that we made. And it glows green when you turn the switches on. So of course this, kind of adds to the effect. Anyway, we're going to get to it, and we'll be back. Okay, so we're wrapping it up, folks. Just about done. So here's how we did the Miata motor installation. Now, of course, there are kits out there that you can buy. They're kind of expensive, though. This was really simple to do. We actually bolted the Miata motor, headlight motor, directly to this piece right here. In fact, we only had to drill one hole because there was an existing hole. We put a couple of spacers on it, and we used the actual factory. Let's see if I can get that in there. That's actually the factory rod, and we just shortened it, and it worked perfectly. I mean, it was like it was made to go in here. No hang-ups, no issues or anything. It works great. And of course, here's our control box that houses everything. Kind of nice and neat with all of our wires going up through the firewall. And of course, I'm going to do a complete schematic to show you how we did all this. Okay, so again, we've got everything set. Pull our headlight motor on, and there it goes. Turn it off. Closes. Or we can come over here to our custom switches and open the door and turn on the halos. Very cool, huh? Again, I'll show you the complete schematic on how you can do this. And here's the cool thing. You can turn the headlight motor, or the headlights on here, and then you can turn this button on here. And if you turn off your headlights, it'll still stay open. So it actually works exactly like the setup in the Miata. If you're not familiar with the Miata, you folks out there, when you turn the headlights on in Miata, it opens up, but you also have a standalone button on the center of the dash that will open up the headlight door so you can watch the headlights. Oh, you're wondering what the other buttons are for. Oh, okay, well let me show you. That's the factory map light. LED, of course. And this, well, it's this. Green glow in the cup holders, green glow underneath the dash. The car's green, so, you know, that's what we'd want to do, right? Okay, so here's our diagram. Give you a second here to look. That? Yeah, I know, kind of a mess. Kind of scary looking, isn't it? Well, what I've done, instead of you trying to look at it on YouTube, if you look down in the notes section, you'll find a link to Google Docs. You can download it as a PDF file. And you can use this really for any 60s, 70s car that had vacuum operated headlights. You want to convert it to electric using a Miata headlight motor. A couple things I want to mention. And one is about the headlight harness, on the headlight motor harness itself. These motors were actually used in a broad variety of cars. In fact, I think it was the the third, fourth, and fifth generation Toyota Celicas that had hideaway headlights. They also had this same, or used the same motor. There's other cars that use it too, the Ford Probe, which was actually a Mazda, and a few other cars that use it. So these motors are widely available. They're cheap to find. You can buy them. I think Summit Racing has them for like 60 bucks. But keep in mind that the harness coming off the motor, the wires are going to be different colors depending on what year it came from, what car it came from. They're not always the same. Even on the Miatas, I've seen different colored wires. But anyway, I want to mention a couple things about this fun little thing. Is that obviously you're going to want to use a 5-post relay. That's the only way you can do this, so that you get your open and your close. And you've got to use diodes. Okay, these are your friends. You need to learn to like them. They scared me when I was little. Anyway, here's what they look like. All right, and I'll put a link to where I got these, of course, on Amazon. What they keep them, well, actually, let me pull it out. What kind of a rule of thumb is, if you can see that, you see the little band at the top. Okay, that's the direction. That is the direction of the current flow. Basically what this is, it's a one-way valve. It doesn't allow electricity to go back up the line. So it's only going to allow power to go one way. And the reason we did this is because we are using two different triggers to our relay. We're using our switch on the center stack, and we're using our headlight switch. And you don't want power from the other one going back up the line to the device that you're not using, or you're going to have a brownout, you burn something out, you know, who knows. So you've got to use a diode. That's very important. And these are really simple to install, just like wired. So make sure that you do keep that in mind, that you're going to use that. Then the other thing is, we did ours a little bit different. I know on the West Coast Cougars, they have you actually attaching your trigger wire to their relay system that they use to the main power button down on the headlight high beam headlight switch on the floor. Well, we decided not to do that because we don't want to run yet another wire back into the firewall. So we decided just to go ahead and have our trigger off the parking lights. Now, don't if you go around and wire your controller box up similar to ours right there in that nice little space where you can't see it and it's hidden away, don't be tempted to connect to the headlight. to the low beam headlight like we did at first. Don't. That's stupid. Don't do that. What the problem is, when you hit your high beam for a brief second, the low beam goes off just for a brief second, and what that does, kills your trigger. What do the headlights do? Close. So don't do that. So that's why we just decided to go ahead and connect it to use our trigger for that on the parking light. So it worked out just as good. So anyway, I'm sure you'll have questions about this. You're probably going to rip me a new one, say that's wrong, blah, 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 blah. Hey, it works, okay? So look at it, have fun with it. You can modify this for whatever you want. I mean, just think about it. You could use the same sort of thing if you wanted to use, you know, light bars. Fog lights. Oh, tanning. Yeah, I mean, you can use this basic thing to do just about anything. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this, and we've had a lot of fun. So, you know, if you want to see some more stupid stuff like this. Happiness is doing a burnout in a Hemi Coronet. Yeah, it's real. Check out my Instagram page at V8 Car Nut. There's always something goofy. The Dallas area car community is a very big but very small community, and we have a lot of fun. So, okay, so here's the rest of it. And, you know, if you want to comment, go ahead. Rip me up a new one. I don't care. We're just doing this for fun. Oh, you want to hear the Cougar? Oh, okay. Here you go. Like rocks in a coffee can. I love it. All right, so we're wrapping it all up here. And just about done. So now we can do this, or we can do this, and this. Haha, pretty awesome, huh? This allows you to either open and close your doors with your headlight, or you've got a button on the dash and you can open just the door by itself, and then you can turn on just your halos. I mean, obviously, this is a cool car. It's not a restored classic. This is a kick-ass 500 horsepower Cougar Eliminator clone. So anyway, called Kermit. That's right. This is also set up where you do not have to have the key in the ignition. It's always on. So you can just push the buttons, go to your car show. These don't use any power. You have a lot of fun.
You can bring your Cougar in your Cougar.
You can do that too. Anyway, so I hope you've enjoyed this episode. And of course, I know we have. I'm Navy Dad, and because guess what? That kid right there is one of my sons, and he's home visiting on leave from the United States Navy. So anyway,
Navy son.
Yeah. So take care, and hope to see you on the next one.
Go Navy!
Hashtag Pornhub.com.
That will deserve some editing.
Yes, it will. Our trigger wire. Well, that was a nice Mustang. Our trigger wire. Squirrel. Fancy. Oh no, they're not. Classic cars.
And there's people out there that actually like cars that are Cougars.
Hey, yeah, stop it. Anyway, shit. So, but anyway, what you